Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be refurbishing this Game Boy Color that my friend provided for me. So he has Pokemon Crystal and Pokemon Soul Silver that have dead batteries, and this just needs a clean. So yeah, we're gonna just turn it on right now. So as you can see, there is no game, there's no save. So I believe he did have a save, but it died because it has the original battery from it. So we're going to change it with a brand new battery. And then he can save his game and play it and enjoy it like how you're supposed to. So yeah, we're going to get right into it. We're going to disassemble this Game Boy Color. So in order to get these screws out on this Game Boy Color, it's not Phillips. They're actually called tri-wing screwdrivers. So that's what I'm using right here. I don't actually have my screwdriver, so I'm using this extension right here. But it does the job. After I unbolt 6 of these screws, I can finally pop this back cover off. Okay, so now you're going to have the back piece of the motherboard exposed. What you're going to want to do next is unclip this ribbon cable. There's 2 clips right here. Then once you release those 2, you can just slide out the ribbon cable. Alright everyone, so now you get presented with this beautiful motherboard once you release it from the shell. It looks like in pretty good shape. Okay, I got a Q-tip right here. I'm just going to go around the motherboard and clean it all up. Okay, so I just cleaned everything on the motherboard. So now once we're done with that, we can just set this to the side for now, and then I just need to clean the shell, and then we can get back and then reassemble the Game Boy Color. Alright everyone, so now I'm going to shift my focus on the Game Boy Color Pokemon games. So I'm just going to open these up and take out the old batteries and then swap them basically. So you're going to need to use this weird screwdriver for this weird screw on the back of the cartridge. Alright everyone, so now I have the motherboards of Pokemon Crystal and Pokemon Soul Silver. So I just need to replace these 2 batteries. So what I'm going to need to use is a soldering iron. Alright everyone, I have my setup right here. I have a soldering iron, I have an air filter. I have this to engage the heat of the soldering iron. And I have my tin tinner. And I have my tip tinner right here. And then I have some flux. So it's going to be a little loud in here because you don't want to breathe in all these fumes from the soldering iron. So this filter catches all of the fumes and then filters it out. Alright everyone, so I'm going to just start up my setup. Alright everyone, so now I have finished my soldering job. Now I just have to reassemble the cartridge and we should be good to go and it should save. Alright everyone, so you can tell by just looking at this Game Boy, it's pretty dirty. So this is why we're doing a whole clean from the inside and out. So right here I have some nice warm soapy water. Just gonna dump it in here and let it sit for a while. Let the old dirt break down and then I can just clean it with a toothbrush. Alright, so I let the shell sit in here for like about 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna get to scrubbing now. Okay everyone, so I'm just gonna reassemble the Game Boy Color after I cleaned the shell. Okay, so now I have everything cleaned up. I have the batteries in. I have the game inside the Game Boy. We're gonna test it out right now. And I already put a save on here. And it's put the name as my friend's brother, who's the owner of this Game Boy. And as you can see, everything works. Everything's responsive. So my job here is done. Time to return this to my friend. And thank you guys for watching.